One word, Yellowjackets, a series which has garnered quite the audience. The story directly follows their efforts to survive, as well as their current lifestyles in 2021. Stay tuned to find out everything you need to know about Yellowjackets and how it is breaking the typical mold for TV dramas. Let's dive in. First up, how is Yellowjackets breaking the mold for TV dramas? Yellowjackets, a Showtime original series, is quickly gaining traction in the film and television business. The show has a perfect Rotten Tomatoes rating and is creating new ground by defying the idea that high-quality shows must originate from major streaming platforms such as Netflix, HBO, Apple TV, Disney+, Hulu, or Prime. The show follows a group of high school girls from New Jersey in 1996 who are on their way to a national soccer qualifying competition when their plane crashes. For 19 months, the girls and their coach are left to fend for themselves in the wilderness. Yellowjackets alternates between the present, it's 2021 at this time, and the past, as it investigates how the tragedy affected the girls well into adulthood. It's reasonable to assume that this show isn't for everyone, and it uses body horror and the obscene to qualify as a psychological horror television show. Yellowjackets has a kind of dualism in that it belongs to both the psychological horror and the coming-of-age drama genres. The show depicts the descent into madness that all of these young girls suffered in the woods, similar to the crazy girl stereotype portrayed in films like Jennifer's Body and Gone Girl. What begins as a survival narrative gradually devolves into a complex tale of power, domination, and basic human depravity. The representation of the human psyche in despair is one of the show's most compelling elements. Despite the fact that these girls have experienced the most severe forms of trauma and abandonment, they have formed a class system among themselves. In their little society, different characters have certain roles. Some are hunters, others gatherers, and one in particular becomes a medic or healer. Overall, the show is a fascinating case study of how entertainment may spread by word of mouth rather than through large streaming sites' recommendation sections. Yellowjackets has been renewed for a second season, despite the fact that it is still in pre-production. Many fans and critics are looking forward to the upcoming season in order to seek answers to the season 1's most bizarre cliffhangers and see more of this captivating drama series and what they can come up with. Next, Yellowjackets Season 2. Here's everything you need to know. The 14 may have left us with a million unanswered issues, but we can be assured that there will be another season with answers on the way. Yellowjackets has been revived for a second season by Showtime, but this should come as no shock given the show's critical acclaim and social media excitement since its November launch. Here's everything you need to know about Season 2 of Yellowjackets and when we can expect it to grace our screens. And what about the release date? The biggest question viewers have for Yellowjackets Season 2 is when can we expect it to debut? According to Gary Levine, head of entertainment at Showtime Networks, the show is aiming for an annual cycle in order for the series not to fizzle out in excitement. As of now, no production start date has been announced, and delays caused by COVID-19 could delay filming further. If all goes according to plan, Yellowjackets Season 2 might premiere around the same time as the first season just a year later, in November or December of 2022. As the year progresses, we should find out more information about the actual release date, so make sure to keep an eye on this space for further updates. Who can we expect to see in Season 2? So who can we expect to return in the upcoming season? Well, the series' primary characters, Shauna, Melanie Linsky, Taissa, Tawny Cypress, Natalie, Juliette Lewis, and Misty, Christina Ricci, as well as their adolescent equivalents, are expected to return. The families of the current Yellowjackets, such as Shauna's husband and daughter, and Ty's wife and kid, are also expected to return. Additionally, Lottie, Courtney Eaton, the Antler Queen, appears to have a prominent part in Season 2. There's still a lot of unanswered questions about her character from 1996, but it looks like we'll get to meet the modern-day Lottie as well in the upcoming season. Given the entire freezing-to-death scenario, it's fairly reasonable to assume Jackie, Ella Parnell, will not return. Additionally, despite the fact that Van, Liv Hewson, came dangerously close to death, it appears like she will return next season. Storyline for Season 2? Yet another big question. What is the storyline for Season 2? Is Taissa a bad person? Will Jackie make a comeback? Natalie was kidnapped, but who did it? And what precisely did Lottie accomplish in the end? The Season 1 ending of Yellowjackets generated a lot of new issues, so Season 2 will have to go right to work when it returns. Mind you, keep an eye out for those traps in the woods. Thankfully, the writers aren't blind like those lost children in the woods, Ashley Lyle and Bart Nickerson, the show's co-creators and married couple, have known where Yellowjackets has been going since the beginning. Given that we already know the team has been abandoned in the woods, and we've only seen the characters throughout the summer, fall, and early winter of 1996, the dual storyline is bound to continue. We're hoping to learn more about the circumstances behind Travis's death and why Natalie was kidnapped in the present day. As Levine mentioned, there are still plenty of unanswered questions about how many survivors there are. We only found out about Lottie's survival in the season 1 conclusion. Is it possible that some others are still out there? What will become of Shauna's child? Will we ever learn who the barefoot girl who ran to her death in the first episode was? So many questions. Luckily, the series' co-creator, Bart Nickerson, told The Hollywood Reporter that Yellowjackets was once pitched as a 5-season idea, so there are still a lot of plot points to cover with 10 episodes per season. Yay! Burning unanswered questions fans need answered following season 1 of Yellowjackets. Yellowjackets was an unexpected hit that sprang out of nowhere. The show alternates between the present and the past. Following the first season, there were a plethora of cliffhangers and unanswered questions. Stick around to hear some of the most burning questions that viewers desperately need some answers to. Is Jackie really dead? The first unanswered question, is Jackie really dead? In season 1, Jackie died early on. As Yellowjackets fans are probably well aware, the way Shauna and everyone else acted said it all. How she died was the big question. Fans might have assumed she was eaten based on one of the first flashbacks. That could still be the case. It's safe to presume that if Jackie is dead, someone will urge that the squad should eat her. This could create a schism in the group, dividing the girls in half. Jackie, on the other hand, could still be alive. Although she is portrayed frozen in the end, does not necessarily imply that she's dead. Who exactly is the Pit Girl? Fans have called her Pit Girl on Reddit and Twitter, but the identity of the running girl in the first episode of the show remains a mystery. Some thought she could be Jackie, but thanks to the events of the finale, fans now know that's not the case. Who actually killed Travis? Was Travis murdered, or did he commit suicide? Throughout the season, Natalie had the idea that he had been murdered. They made a deal, she added, to never commit suicide. That doesn't rule out the possibility that he did, but Natalie was confident he didn't. Natalie seems to have given up towards the end of the first season. It didn't matter if Travis committed himself or not. Natalie believed the answers would remain elusive for the rest of her life. As a result, she came dangerously close to taking her own life in order to alleviate the anguish. Lottie's thugs stopped her from committing herself, but at what cost? Is Lottie to blame for Travis's death, or is there something else going on in Yellowjackets? And there you have it, everything you need to know about why Yellowjackets is breaking the current mold for TV drama series. Additionally, we also touched on all you need to know about season 2 of the popular TV series, along with questions from the first season. We desperately want answers too. Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Did you tune in for season 1? What do you think we are in store for in season 2? Let us know down below in the comments. But if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any of our new and upcoming content. Thanks for watching.